Are you single? Is it getting difficult for you to find a life partner and just don't understand what is missing in you? What are the plans of the universe for you? Well, this video might have some unexpected answers for you to ponder. Hello and welcome to the channel. Today, we are giving you unexpected reasons why you are still single. After all, who wants to stay single? We all want someone to have deep conversations with in life. Rant about the frustrations of how demanding your boss has been lately. Romantic date and just share intimacy with them. Then, relationships break or end and you are back at square one at a point where you need to find another partner to start the circle or search for the other one. Here are the 12 unexpected reasons why you have no boyfriend or girlfriend. Number 1. Defense mechanisms. Most people have been wounded in previous relations at some point in their lives. We all run the danger of developing varying degrees of bitterness and becoming defensive through time and the terrible experiences that we experience. This process starts long before we start dating in our childhoods, when harmful encounters and dynamics cause us to build barriers or see the world through a filter that can have a detrimental influence on us as adults. We may become more self-protective and closed off as a result of these adaptations. We may fight to be overly vulnerable in adult interactions or dismiss individuals too quickly. If you were raised by neglectful or frigid parents or caregivers, you may develop a mistrust of affection as an adult. You could be wary of people who exhibit too much interest in you and instead seek out connections that mirror your former interactions. You can then pick an aloof or distant companion. When we have our walls up, it's not always simple to see. As a result, we prefer to blame our single status on outside factors rather than admitting that we aren't as open as we believe. Number 2. Unhealthy standards for attraction. We tend to pick less than ideal relationships and partners when we act on our defenses. By choosing someone who isn't emotionally accessible, we may end up locking ourselves in an unsatisfactory relationship. We typically blame our spouse or partners for the relationship's failure, since this process is mainly unconscious. We are often depressed or wounded by repeated rejections without realizing that we are looking for this pattern. What are the reasons for us to do this? The sources are numerous and frequently stem from our deep-seated anxieties about having a human connection. Many times we have an unconscious urge to seek out human connections that confirm the unsavory beliefs we have had about ourselves for a long time and relive painful childhood memories. These may be uncomfortable, but altering old behaviors can cause us worry and pain, as well as making us feel curiously alienated and alone in a more loving atmosphere. Our apprehensions about letting go of the initial picture and perception we have formed of ourselves and then beginning to view ourselves in a more positive light will be there, as change is not easy. On the other hand, what makes us feel uneasy and may provoke self-depreciating thoughts, such as, what kind of person do you believe you are? You are not all that impressive or even worth anything. Because of these worries, we reinforce a negative picture of ourselves, which seems more comfortable and familiar. So, while this is painful, we may cling to relationships with little potential or feel drawn to individuals who aren't truly accessible. Number 3. Intimacy issues. Most of us profess that we want to find a loving partner, but the experience of real love disrupts fantasies of love that have served as a survival mechanism since early childhood. Pushing away and punishing the beloved acts to maintain one's negative self-image and reduces anxiety. As written by psychologist and author Robert Firestone in his article, "You Don't Want What You Say You Want." Our fears surrounding intimacy may manifest as concerns over someone liking us too much, an understandably irrational reason not to date a person. Or we may punish the other person by being critical or even engaging in nasty behavior, essentially making sure we don't get the loving responses we say we want. The reality is most people can only tolerate a certain amount of closeness. We are defensive about letting someone else in. In effect, on a deeper level, we don't necessarily want the love we say we want. Number 4. Being choosy. We frequently become pickier and more judgmental as a result of our defense mechanisms. This is especially true if we've had unpleasant encounters with people we care about who have misled or rejected us. Many women begin to believe that there are no nice guys out there or that all the good ones have already been gone. On the other side of the spectrum, men may think you can't trust a woman or women are all trying to take advantage of you. We may have excessive expectations for a relationship or identify flaws as soon as we meet them. We tend to exclude a wide spectrum of possible candidates to be the one before even giving them a chance when we view the world through critical or distrusting eyes. We consider dating some people to be settling, yet we never consider how that person may make us happy in the long run. Imagine, how many times have you felt cut off from someone who has chased you for over a long time? Even though you think they have all the qualities you need, but you feel they are too into you. Maybe you feel they are overly needy and that they would be damaged by you. You might even frequently be remarked by you are simply not attracted to them. Instead, you could be drawn to people who are untrustworthy and emotionally aloof. Maybe what you need to is to decide to go on a date with that person who had been chasing you. You might be amazed at what you discover, and who knows, they may be the one. Number 5. Having low self-esteem. Many of the folks will voice similar sentiments. You might be sincerely hoping and desiring a fulfilling relationship above all else. Then, to your detriment, you will also believe that no one worthwhile would be interested in you. We all have critical inner voices telling us that we are too overweight, unattractive, old, or different. We engage in activities that push others away when we listen to these voices. It is not for the reasons that we tell ourselves that we are single. Our lack of confidence causes us to give out signs that we are not open, creating a catch-22 situation in the dating world. When they're low on themselves, many people find it difficult to leave the house, let alone pursue circumstances where they could meet possible mates. Some people find it difficult to initiate eye contact or are hesitant to search the room for potential suitors. Due to a lack of self-esteem, people may fail to follow their strongest inclinations when they are drawn to someone. Number 6. Afraid of rejection. Fear of competition is typically caused by a lack of self-esteem. It's all too tempting to compare ourselves to others, especially when it comes to dating. It's all too simple to say to ourselves, he or she could do better. When we meet someone we like, we may be quick to back away if we notice that someone else is interested in the person we like. We may feel hesitant to compete, especially as we become older, and we may begin to criticize ourselves, saying things like, "Your time has passed, you are too old for this." We may resist putting ourselves out there due to our fear of competition. We can be terrified of making a fool of ourselves or of not getting picked. We may even be afraid of winning the competition because we believe we would hurt the other person's feelings or that our victory will prompt the loser to become aggressive. The plain fact is that dating is a competitive sport. It's hard to take a chance and compete for what we want. But once we do, we usually realize that facing our concerns was well worth it. As a result, we develop a stronger sense of ourselves and boost our chances of finding the person we truly desire. Number 7. Being stuck in a comfort zone and monotony. People tend to retreat deeper and further into their comfort zones as they become older. Modern women are becoming increasingly competent, accomplished, and self-sufficient, which is a really important and progressive trend. However, when both men and women get more comfortable, whether financially or practically, they are more likely to develop a bubble from which it is harder to escape. Taking risks and putting yourself out there might feel more difficult. Many of us would rather put on our jammies and fall into bed after a hard day at work than venture out into the unpredictable and anxiety-provoking realm of meeting people. Our inner critic's voice frequently encourages us to stay at home or to keep safe. Self-soothing phrases are offered by this inner coach. Stay in tonight and unwind. On your own, you're okay. Pour yourself a glass of wine. Watch your favorite program. The issue with this voice is that it eventually turns against you, thinking things like, "You are such a loser, being alone at home again. For the rest of your life, you will be alone. You don't seem to be growing any younger. Nobody will be drawn to you." Many of the things we engage in to comfort ourselves make us feel worse in the long run because they prevent us from achieving our true desires in life. It's crucial to avoid becoming stuck in a rut and to question our critical inner voice regularly. We should take action and get out into the public, smile, establish eye contact, and let our friends know we are seeking someone. We should attempt various hobbies and date a variety of individuals to learn more about ourselves and what makes us happy. Number 8. Self-made limits. As the years pass, we often develop rule books for ourselves regarding dating. In effect, we put what we have learned down on paper. But what looks good on paper doesn't always work in real life. When we act on rules based on our past, we can create a perpetual cycle of disappointing relationships. Sometimes, we may date someone with whom we have amazing chemistry. Then when it didn't work out, we decided to stop looking for someone with whom we feel a strong connection or strong attraction. Instead, we might try to make a reasonable choice, or so we believe. As a result, we may soon find out that it's far fewer satisfying relationships than before. It's important not to make fixed rules or to buy into other people's rules when it comes to dating. One of the most crucial things we can do while seeking a loving relationship is to keep our options open. Yes, we may be hurt, but by not taking risks, we limit our possibilities of finding someone with whom we may truly share a future. Relationship rules are frequently associated with game playing. They have the potential to cause us to act with less honesty and authenticity, as well as to lock ourselves off from our feelings. Staying open and honest, on the other hand, will lead us to a lot more genuine and lasting connections. Number 9. Seeking solitude. You may want to recognize whether you are just subconsciously trying to be left alone. There is a possibility that you may be pushing people away from yourself. Therefore, you are not at all engaging in social activities which may help you put yourself out there as a single person. It is not easy when you are showing to the outside world that you are perfectly all right to be alone and by yourself to find a partner for yourself. So, how do you handle yourself and prevent such signals, but also make sure you are meeting the right people? The first way is to make sure that you are entering social circles. It can be done by making sure you meet your friends' friends. You need to make sure that you are meeting several people to manage and balance your social requirements, or else you may put way too much pressure on your existing relationships and yourself to provide the social interaction you are missing out on. If you are meeting more people, it will increase the probability of meeting the right person for your dating life. It also means that you will not have any issues appearing with the right amount of confidence and not look very needy. So, for instance, you don't seem needy by just dropping everything you have in your life to go out with someone. Rather, you seem like you are making a bit of space for someone, but not just changing everything about your life. Also, throughout your interaction with your date, you will have reasons to be objective and make an informed decision about the date and your compatibility. Number 10. Chasing someone for far too long. When you start chasing someone for a long time and you are just obsessed with that one person, you are just running behind them, and while they have no interest and are doing little to give credence to your advances, you are still trying your best to continue to show them your interest. It can sometimes become difficult, especially for men who are often told that they have to be the ones to make the first move and therefore will try and select the one they think is the best. then it is only just restricted to men after all who don't want to get that one man or woman who seems nearly perfect. So, try and understand whether you are in a wild goose chase and your interest is not returned at all, or rather, it is being spurred. It may be when you have met someone online who is living near you and chats with you regularly, then when asked if they want to go out with you, they beat around the bush and never say yes. Or maybe someone you know is friends with them, there is no growth and they have denied going out with you at all. You might have already become loyal to them and try not to even think about others as suitable partners. This might be an issue as you have streamlined them as the only choice. Then it is obvious you are missing amazing and interesting women all the time, but just ignoring them and missing the chance to find love again. There you go, guys and girls. These might be the unexpected reasons you are finding it difficult to find a boyfriend or girlfriend. If you feel you have found any of these reasons relatable, then please do like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for many such videos that will pique your interest, and also press the bell icon to be updated regularly about our videos. Comment below the video on what other reasons could be included in the list.